Flashback.
At least I have not killed coral in a while. But who knows? There's huge storms in Houston right now. Well, the weather is very cold. So if the power goes out, I will be absolutely fucked. So who knows? Maybe my next one will be about how the tank crashed. Won't be you guys' assault though, that's for sure. Alright, people want me to document this, so the power is out again. And this is what I've been doing. This is the second time it's been out. It was previously out for 32 hours before someone saved me with a generator. And then it was up for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours. So the house was warm again. Tank got down to 67.5 degrees. That was fun. And the water's out, so I can't run any hot water to float bags of hot water like I was previously doing. That happened at 9 p.m. last night. So this has been the method so far. I have a generator though, just went out, so I'm just kind of waiting to see if it comes back in 45 minutes or an hour. If it doesn't, then I'll fire the generator back up. But this is what it's looked like previously for the past 32 hours. Water clarity is a little bit better now. It was super cloudy earlier, and then I put in some new carbon. And yep, that's the blinds. That's a coral. Coral look okay so far, so we'll see what happens. There you go. Now you've seen what I've seen. Alright, so this is the current state of things. Since the last portion of the video when the power went back out, it's been 24 hours. You can see there, we got the fireplace going. It doesn't do much, but it feels like warm right around here. We have tall ceilings, so it doesn't do too much. Generator right now is powering up the tank, so it's running everything. Lights, everything for both these. These are plumbed in together. This one has a lot of hair algae. I do have one turbo in there, and he's slightly changing my mind about snails because he's actually eating the algae, so I need a couple more in there. The frags are doing good. Everything has color. Nothing looks super faded out. And most of these were just cut on Saturday, so it's Wednesday right now as I'm filming this. Power went out on Monday morning at 2 a.m. So all these were cut that Saturday. Yeah, and then main tank, everyone is good. All the fish are alive. That is a good thing. I was a little bit worried about the crescent tail wrasse, right? He's in there somewhere. Orange wrasse. He was kind of hiding in this little hidey hole for a day or so. I guess getting back up to temperature. But yeah, a little less polyp extension on most of the corals. Walt Disney usually has a little bit more extension than that. And then PC Rainbow on the other side. I'll just kind of give you a quick overview so you can see everything. Everyone's going to call me a liar if I tell them nothing died. There's still time. Things could still turn for the worse. Things could still die. But as of right now, there's no immediate effects. Sometimes you'll get delayed residual effects with these kind of things. So we'll kind of monitor that. This one's going to look dead, but it's not dead. It's perfectly fine. No polyp extension though. Yep. PC Rainbow. See, he's just like, nah, I'm not too happy. This guy down here was looking like shit, but he's looking great now. Yep. And, Cyano's doing pretty good too, so that is the update now. We'll see how things progress. We did actually get some water back, so I was actually able to take a shower. So that's probably why I feel refreshed enough to speak to a camera by myself. Yeah, we'll see how things continue. Hopefully the power can get restored and things can go back to normal. Yeah, it's pretty shitty over here though.
1 week later.
Alright guys, it's now Friday, the week after the Great Texas Blackout, and just wanted to give you an update of how the tank was doing. So in total we lost power for 55 hours out of 60 consecutive before it actually came back on. So we did have a little bit of a spurt of some power. The tank was saved by a local reefer who came over, gave me his generator spontaneously. So super thankful to him for bringing that over. And yeah, let's check out any damage. As you saw, tank temperature got down to 67 degrees. And this is how things are doing. Anemones are happy. These corals are good. This thing's good. Alright, so I think you're kind of starting to get the picture. These are doing alright. It's the Walt Disney. Some other bullshit over there. Everything on this side actually looks good. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to generically show you what's going on here. Now this is the side where, you know, things have happened. So this big blue stag right here, this is the first one that started showing some signs of STN, and started in this spot right there in that flame angel. And worked its way up a couple of the branches. Didn't fully kill any of the branches, and it's been a couple days now and that's actually stopped. So wasn't a super huge fan of this coral anyways, but you know, don't want to see any of them die. And then after I saw signs on this guy, then I saw signs on the Oregon Tort. The first sign was on this super small little branch I'm trying to zoom in on, and that grew down the coral. We can see it better from this side. See the fox face better. So that's been like that for a couple days now, where it hasn't progressed anymore. So we might be good there. It might have stopped. And those are the only two corals that have shown any signs of any stress or RTN. Sorry, STN. There was no RTN in here. So overall I got super lucky. Monty over here. When I turned back on the apex and power and everything, when I got the generator, the tank was at 7.58 for pH, which is getting dangerously low to the point where it can actually start impacting the health of the corals and actually starting to melt them. But overall, super happy with, you know, the results we got here after the tank hit, you know, 67 degrees and, you know, no power for 55 hours. You know, that was crazy. So while I got lucky, a lot of people in Houston and Texas in general definitely did not get as lucky as me. Even people that had generators. So seeing a lot of kind of victim shaming going on, especially on the Facebook groups, because that's really all Facebook is good for, apparently, is just trashing people. But a lot of people did have plans. They did have generators in place, but when your house gets down to 30 or 40 degrees, your standard tank heaters are going to have a really hard time keeping up with the ambient air temperature. So yes, you can have more heaters, but you have to also have a generator that can support more heaters. So you're limited in that capacity. And I don't know. The point is that just having a generator is only part of the plan. It's not the full plan. You need to have other alternatives as well. I knew once I lost water and I didn't have the ability to float bags of hot water in the tank anymore, that I was basically fucked. So luckily I got that generator, and the tank stayed, or the house rather, stayed relatively warm. We only got down to 62 degrees, coldest in here, because we have spray foam insulation, and I think the fireplace helped a lot too. Plus the tank being a massive volume of water helped to kind of give the greenhouse effect, where you have barrels of water in a greenhouse, and that helps to regulate the temperature. So all those different factors, I think, attributed to my luck here, but I don't think we should go around shaming people for what you think, you know, it is them not having a plan. There's a lot of other circumstances that people just aren't seeing. and it's pretty ignorant to just say, oh, well, if you just had a generator, everything would have been all right. It's definitely not true. But for me, some lessons learned. I definitely need to get my own generator. That way I don't need someone to save my life. I also, at the new place, I'll be getting an electrician to wire a failover switch. So what I can do in the garage where the panel will be. And yeah, that will be it. So if the power goes out, flip over that switch, plug in the generator, and we'll be good to go. In terms of heating, the whole house will be running, so that's the solution. And then in the summer, obviously the AC will be on. So that's going to be my solution for the new place, and hopefully I never have to experience a power outage like that again, but you never know. Alternatively, looking at getting some battery backups, or actually making some based on Telegram's live stream. If you want to see some more suggestions on what to do in the event of power outage or how to prepare, definitely go check out his live stream where he outlined it more. But yeah, I'm super happy with how things turned out on my end. Glad I didn't lose everything. I would have made the move to Colorado a lot easier, but definitely didn't want everything to die, especially after it took me so long to finally get shit up. So, but at least if the tank did crash, I wouldn't have to cry and be like, oh, it was the salt, and then, you know, go through all a bunch of drama because it was salt, but it wasn't really salt, but, you know, that whole thing. I definitely think the moonshine program definitely played a role in how successful the tank was able to come out of a huge stressful event. You know, this is a massive stress on the tank, and to only have 2 corals out of, I think there's around, I counted these, I think there's around 50 or 60 SPS in here, somewhere in that range. But to only have those 2 showing any signs of STN and everything else just kind of, you know, just brush it off is pretty impressive, and speaks to, you know, how much we can actually stress truly healthy corals in combination, you know, with maintaining a good pH, none of that 7.8 bullshit, you know, getting it up 8.2, 8.3, giving the corals a good pH to live in, and then also other nutrients that they need, you know, vitamins, vitamin C, they put that in the tank via the moonshiner, vitamin X, and then also all the trace elements that help to raise the immunity of the corals as well. Definitely could have went bad if it continued to get colder in the tank, but you know, we made it. So yeah, if you're not on that moonshine, might want to maybe start thinking about that. I don't care either way. You guys can raise your shitty corals, or you can start having corals. I don't know, it's up to you. Anyways, I wanted to get this out so y'all could see the progress, what happened, and the dog's about to bark, so I'll catch you in the next one.